a novice.
Yeah, novice, dude. You can't be going on fucking auto. You gotta go manual like a pro. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the Austin McEwan.
Konnichiwa.
Hajimemashite. Austin, Genki desu ka? You don't know what Genki desu ka means?
I don't.
That means how are you?
Really?
You
Okay. I've actually been learning a little bit
Oh, yeah?
because I think that the Japanese language is actually pretty cool. I learned recently, kudasai means
yeah?
please. I learned that. And then mizu, I think that means soup.
Oh yeah, like miso soup?
Yeah.
Or miso?
Yeah.
Miso? I forgot. I used to study it a lot. So Genki desu ka is how are you? You know they say ka at the end of like the sentence, it turns it into a question.
Okay.
So ka is like question mark. So to say, so I'd be like,
Oh,
Awesome.
okay, yeah.
oh here, have you tried your espresso yet?
I haven't.
Do you drink espresso? You said you don't, right?
not really.
Here, wait, cheers me, bro. Cheers.
It smells really good.
From my espresso machine.
Ooh.
Do you like coffee?
Yeah, I usually don't drink it black. That's a lot stronger than I thought it'd be, but it's not bad though.
Yeah, I don't like to put a lot of sugar and stuff.
That's
and
fair.
I turned into such a little connoisseur because I would put milk and like creamer. I even got a creamer thing over there, but then I just feel like it just tastes like not like coffee anymore. It tastes just like
That's fair.
a weird mixed drink to me.
Well, like if you go to Dutch Bros and it's like you're just drinking like a gallon of sugar. It's very good, but
Yeah, it's a straight up milkshake.
yeah.
So,
Oh yeah,
Austin-san,
yeah.
Genki desu ka? And the reply to how are you, Genki desu ka, is Genki desu.
Genki des. Like
Genki desu.
I learned that like des and deska is like there is an R. I think.
Like desu, D-E-S-U, the U.S.
Oh yeah.
silent. Des is like period.
Oh really? Okay,
Yeah.
maybe I didn't know.
It's not like actually period, but
Yeah.
it's like at the end of the sentence they always say des.
Yeah.
So and then if it's a question they say desu ka. Pretty weird. But so you've been studying Japanese, huh? Or you just started?
Just a little bit. Like, so I was on Duolingo and I've been actually practicing Spanish, but then I was like, you know what? I've always like, there's always the people where it's like, oh, you're just a weeb. But I did want to learn because it's a very interesting language where like Chinese seems too complicated. Like there's so much weird stuff with Chinese.
Tonal.
Yeah, exactly. Like my uncle, we were in Logan, Utah, visiting them, and he was trying to teach us how to pronounce something. And Jessica was trying it, and he was like, de shi. And so she goes, de shi. And he's like, no, it's sh. It's like so specific on the enunciation.
Yeah, and it just changes the whole word if you're like sure or sure.
Right.
But it's also, me and Ravina just had a moment like this. Hey, real quick, can you tilt your microphone so it's like
To myself?
Yep, just I hear you.
Nice, okay.
Sexy voice, way better now. But I was going to the bedroom and she was like, we just bought new sheets. And she's like, these sheets are nice, huh? And I was like, oh yeah? And she's like, no, I'm asking you. And I was like, oh, yeah. It's the same thing, but
so
different
funny.
meaning.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We have tonal.
Yeah.
You just go, and it's a question, or you go, huh.
That's
and it's
true.
a statement. Like, yeah?
We actually have a lot of people at my job who are from all over the place, like Burma, all the way to like Egypt and stuff. And I always feel so bad for them learning the English language because it's so dumb. Like there's so many different weird things like that in our language too.
There was one that Rena was just like, the biggest one you can just point to where you're like, that is fucking dumb is laugh. The word laugh.
Yeah, it should.
Alaug.
Yeah, I know.
That's what it
Seriously.
should be.
Or enug, like enough is like.
Oh yeah, you're right. Enug.
Enug.
GH. Who gave GH the right to be an F?
I don't know.
Okay, dude. Well, you just got back from piano lessons.
Yes.
How long you been doing that?
So it started out as vocal lessons because when I was in high school, I did a thing called Synergy. And in that, it was like a show choir where we danced and sung. But I've always loved singing. So I was like, you know what? Like this feels like a waste. Like I should even go and just do lessons to just sing at all. But then that turned into like, well, I actually do hybrid. And so I was like, oh, sick. I've always wanted to learn piano. So then I probably did like just vocals for probably like 2 months. Then I did piano. But I've probably been doing the whole thing for like a year.
Oh, of piano?
of like both.
Wow, dude. So what you got? How, like, what are you learning?
Right now, we're learning like the sea shanty. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What do you do with the?
Yeah, exactly.
What's this? How's it go?
It's like, yeah, what do you do with a drunken sailor? What do you do with a drunken sailor?
What do you do with a drunken sailor early in the morning?
That song definitely, like, they wrote that. They had to have been a pirate because I just feel like a pirate when I sing that
Dude,
song.
I want to just be like throwing stuff overboard like in a bucket.
Seriously. Dang.
Yeah, so Jessica was doing piano lessons too.
Yeah,
Does she do it anymore?
Not really, because her instructor actually went off to the army.
Oh my god.
So he was like, sorry, I really recommend this guy, so you can go to him, but she really liked her dude. And then she just kind of stopped going. But so she was like, you copied me. I was going to piano lessons, now you are.
Because she wanted to learn just that Zelda song was like her whole goal. And I was like, you should just look it up on YouTube.
I know, yeah.
And she's like, no, because I want to really learn. I was like, well, then it turns into like it turns into work, my opinion, because I'm always messing around with music.
Yeah.
But I always keep it purely fun. And I recently talked with this girl I was working with who grew up, she's Mormon and grew up playing piano for the church. And she doesn't play anymore because she just doesn't like to. But she knows all the music. And it's such a good skill to have. But
Seriously.
it's like, are you deciding you're going to become an official pianist? You know what I mean? So you're going to learn the whole thing? True. Or do you want to just do this as a hobby and do the things that are fun?
That's true.
And that's how I look at it. Because I'm like, I don't want to I used to do guitar lessons. My mom wanted me to play guitar really bad when I was a kid. And I would ditch the lessons and stuff. My mom would be pissed. And then they just canceled it eventually. But it's just I look at it like a classically trained person who goes off to Juilliard or wherever the hell the best music school is. That's like acting, right? Juilliard. That's
I think so.
Is that music too?
Maybe. I don't know. There's all those higher end schools.
Going off to Columbia, that's got to be one. To some fancy school where they're learning and they're classically trained and they're amazing. I'm sure their technique is awesome. And
for sure.
It's like watching, just someone skilled. But then there's Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
And he's not, I'm sure he's probably classically trained to an extent.
Yeah.
Like everyone, you have to have a foundation before you just branch off and be an artist. But if you were listening to his music under the guise of, judgment on a classical trained, you'd be like, why is he throwing the wah-wah pedal in there so much and bending the strings? That's not proper.
That's true, huh?
You know what I mean? That's just, I feel like there's this point where it's just, a straight expression in art. But of course you got to master the fundamentals first.
That's true. But yeah, you're not going to be creative if you just do the fundamentals your whole life. Well, so I think it's cool to, probably maybe the idea is to learn to sight, be able to sight read. So, you can play any piece of music, but that is fair where my whole mom's side of the family was self-taught. They never went to really lessons. They just kind of learned it themselves. So good on them. But that is true.
And I feel I just have seen this a lot and I don't know how, if it doesn't work for everyone, this statement, but when you're going to lessons a lot, it turns into, unless you have a badass teacher, it really makes it fun all the time.
Yeah.
But it could turn into almost like homework and tedious. And then you're not having fun anymore. And then after the years go by, you get burnt out.
Yeah.
And it's now you look at that instrument as work.
100%.
And you're not looking at it as fun.
Yeah.
And that's just how I feel, and that's why when I got a damn saxophone, a flute, I got so many damn instruments, and I'm mediocre at all of them. But the thing is, I'm not trying to become a professional saxophonist.
That's true.
Or anything. I just love jamming on the thing, and it's still pure love and fun for me.
And that is fair because it's so funny you say that because I actually thought that today. So I've been really busy with all of my time has been going into trying to prepare for that race. And so I've been doing zero music. So today I felt like I haven't been practicing my not like she's going to be pissed. I pay her to, teach me. So it's not like you didn't do your homework, but I felt it wasn't like I can't wait to go learn piano. It was like, I didn't really practice much. Like she's going to be pissed because I'm behind, like it felt like like you said, like homework, like a chore.
But that accountability seems to be great. There's a book I just listened to. I can't remember the name right now, but one of the things was having an outer source that holds you accountable to be able to make goals happen.
That's true.
i.e. personal trainer for fitness goals. It really helps you stay on track. Oh my God, dude, I've been having hiccups like crazy because I made ceviche 2 nights ago and I made I pointed at the fridge. It's not, I ate it all. But I put 15 limes.
Oh, dang.
With 5 tilapia
Oh, dang.
you know, fillets, and that's way too much.
Uh-huh.
It was overly soaked,
Oh,
and I
no.
think that acid like
Oh, gosh.
sat in my stomach and forced me to have like
Oh,
hiccups. And I think the hiccups are tied, is my theory, to some sort of acid reflux reaction.
oh, I'm sure.
I don't have acid reflux now, but when I was fatter a long time ago, a
Yeah.
few years back, I had acid reflux, and it
Yeah.
would like burn up my throat.
Oh, yeah. And in the chest.
Have you had it?
Oh, 100%. I get bad heartburn.
Ooh, dude, that stuff sucks. And I feel like hot stuff ignited it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you too?
Yeah. Yeah. Hot stuff a lot. Yeah. And like you said, like citrusy, but also too, for me, sweet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
just
even-
like bad food.
Yeah. Like even now, like I could eat healthy for a whole month and then I go and eat like a donut. It's like, oh, I got some heartburn.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
so dumb.
Oh, yeah. Heartburn. Is heartburn and acid reflux the same thing?
I think so. Yeah.
So you mentioned you were doing a Spartan race.
Yes.
You just did one. We were going to do this podcast last week, but you're like, I got a Spartan race this
Yeah.
weekend. And I was like, dude, let's wait till you get back
Yeah,
so we can talk about it.
That's good.
How much suffering did you experience in that race?
So it's funny. I thought of you while I was there. I wondered if a Spartan race is just what you guys went through for training, like with your, like when you, because where were you at again?
In the Marine Corps?
Marine Corps, yeah. Because it was like, so I'll just start at the beginning. So my dad, I've been like working out and running and stuff. And I thought it'd be cool to have a purpose for this, like besides just being healthy, like have an end goal. And then one day my dad was like, you should come around a Spartan race with me. I was like, sure, let's do it. So we signed up and everything. So we flew out to Seattle the day before. We went on this really cool hike the day before, which was kind of dumb, like a 6-mile hike, but the day before our race. But my dad's crazy.
Yeah, he seems like a stud.
Yeah, he's crazy. I'll have to. I have some pictures. I'll have to show the audience. But
How old is he?
he's actually gonna be 50 this year.
Oh, what a super stud, dude. Because I saw the pictures, he's all flexing with you and stuff. I'm like, damn, the dude's in shape.
Yeah, he's 50, and he actually just ran a 50K this year.
So
it's like 30
miles?
32 miles. Just straight.
Damn.
He's crazy.
Wait, 32 miles?
Yeah.
So 5K is 3.2 miles?
So I think a 50K is like 32 miles. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, that's like insane. Like I could get a really good like 3 in, and then I'm like toasted.
Maybe you could get a really good 3 in at the pace you're setting, but maybe if you slowed your pace down, you
Definitely.
could go way longer.
Definitely.
I think you could do it.
Yeah. But
Maybe we should just do it together, dude.
that would be cool.
Just on our own. We don't have to pay for no damn race. We just say, hey,
know.
dude, Saturday,
Yeah.
we wake up at 4 a.m.
Oh.
and we start walking.
Yeah.
We start jogging real slow.
True.
And never stopping until we hit our complete exhaustion limit, I guess.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Cool for people who like suffering, I guess.
I know. Yeah. It was funny when we were at the race site, someone said like, oh yeah, you got to be kind of some sort of masochist to like to want to do this stuff.
So you guys did a 6-mile hike, you said?
Yeah. So we did a 6-mile hike the day before, which it was very beautiful. But then the next day, our race was at noon. So we kind of prepped before. Then it was race time, and our heat was at 12:15. It was like our time to go. And so you kind of just wait around. The site was really cool. Just a bunch of tents, a lot of vendors and stuff trying to sell you stuff. And then Spartan merch that you can buy. But so when it's your heat, they call you over, and you start by, it used to be barbed wire, I guess, but you go under these these wires, and you have to crawl. And then there's this wall. It's probably about like my chest height. You had to jump over that, and then you're ready to start the race. So they line you all up, and they're like, they kind of get you hyped up. We are. When I say who are we, you say we are Spartan.
Oh my God.
Aru, aru. Yeah, exactly. Like trying to get you all hyped up. And then they get you started, and then it's like, okay, and go. And so it wasn't bad. So I had this idea in my head forever that they said it was like a 5K plus obstacles. So in my head, I go, oh my gosh, I'm like training before, because I'm like, man, 5K is like 3.2 miles and 20 obstacles. So I thought it was, you have to run a 5K, a whole 3 miles, then do obstacles. But I found out in the race that it was only a 5K the whole thing was 3 miles. So that was dumb. But
It's a little. Does that make it a little easier?
yeah,
Okay.
for sure. Because the running portion ended up being like 1.5 miles. So I like got in my head so much, like, oh my gosh, that's going to be a lot of running before we even start doing obstacles. But then it was only like 1.5 miles. But yeah, so we ran like a mile and a half. The uphill was pretty hard. You saw a lot of people stopping on the uphills. You could tell that's where everyone struggled. But it started with like wall jump. It was like a 5-foot wall, 6-foot wall, 7-foot wall. Those are the first 3 obstacles. But yeah, it was pretty fun. It was a really good challenge.
Was there the one that I feel like I see the most that's like always a highlight for the Spartan race is that electric one where there's like wires dangling, people crawl through and they're like, ah, ah, ah.
Oh, I don't think it was electric this time.
Oh, really? What was it?
So, it was like, so there's barbed wire and you start out. I actually have a bunch of freaking scrape on my knees. But yeah, the barbed wire is pretty close. You know, it's like you had to spider crawl or like get real low and army crawl, or else those would have gotten you.
A lot of waivers you got to sign before this?
Probably, yeah. I did. I wasn't really paying attention, but I probably signed something.
You got to be careful. That's how I ended up in the Marine Corps. I just started signing papers, and then they're like, "Hey, you got to go." I'm like, "What?"
Oh no! But yeah. Oh, so yeah. There was that one where you crawl under the barbed wire, and then it goes into the trenches where so that's like just dry and flat. But then you go into the mud, and it's like it's all super muddy and it's watery, and you're going through, and then you come back up, and then it's mud. Then you go to the top of and it's like the top of this dirt hill. And that's where you saw like the one where my dad's like, you know, arms spread out. You climb to the top. You got to slide down these mud hills and you go into like this dirty water. And then you do like 3 times. Then the last one, there's like a dunk wall where there's like these big it's like this big inflatable wall. And people had so much anxiety for this because they're like, they're like, I get down to there. They're like, how deep is it? Do you know how far it goes?
Oh my gosh.
And a lot of people were skipping it because they didn't want to go and submerge themselves underwater.
Water scares a lot of people.
Yeah, especially because it's like dirty and you can't really see like where you go next, you know?
Yeah.
But I just kind of like felt it. Like I reached my hand under and I couldn't feel how far it was. So I was like, here we go. But you got to do it because that's like part of the experience.
How long did you have to hold your breath for?
Probably like 2 seconds.
2 seconds?
Yeah, it's not very far.
People being bitches.
I know. It's not like you have to like swim, you know. It was just like a wall that was probably like maybe the length of this table.
Oh, nice.
So
yeah, I used to be wild when I was living in Okinawa. I was heavy into spearfishing. And I would just go, I had a weight belt. I would take a weight belt with me, put my flippers on, and just wear some gloves. And there's this place I knew where it was a Maida Point is what it's called in Okinawa. And there's these underwater caves down there. And I would just dive down there, dude, and like traverse the caves just like that. And my friends all thought I was crazy. And looking back now, honestly, like it's probably pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Because now I'm older and my mortality is more like ingrained into me. And I'm like, don't do dumb shit. But back then, dude, I would hold my breath down there for like 30 seconds to a minute, just crawling around in underwater caves and stuff. Yeah, I like water. You like water?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like lakes and stuff are a lot of fun. I don't know about the ocean though. The ocean spooks me.
Oh yeah, there's monsters in it.
Oh, for sure.
Dude, this drink right here.
Oh, I was actually going to ask, what is the mystery drink?
This is Sea Bums, Chris Bumstead's brand of electrolytes. I was at the warehouse, so I did a camera job with Chris Bumstead and this company in Florida, and I was in the warehouse when they were, stocking this stuff up, and they had their meeting with Walmart while I was in Florida. They went and met with the executives and talked with them about getting on the shelves. Fast forward maybe, 3-4 months later, and I'm in Walmart here in Twin, and I see the damn shit.
Way.
I'm like, oh my God, that's what was this is at the warehouse. This is in Walmart. They had the meeting for this.
Jeez.
So of course I had to buy some.
Yeah.
And try it out. What do you think? What's your review?
It's actually not bad. Like at first I thought it was like, Crystal Light or whatever. It kind of tastes like it, but you can definitely tell it's like electrolyte-y.
Yeah. As I figured a guy like you could use some electrolytes.
You know what's crazy? Going into this race, I talked to my dad a lot. He works for like Sizzler, and he's like pretty big in the company. But one thing that he said is that he always wanted to be like a dietitian, or like a
dietitian,
yeah, dietitian, whatever. Dietitian, or like a personal trainer. Oh yeah, because he was telling me all this stuff like that I didn't know. Because I told him like, yeah, when I run, I get really thirsty, and he's like, well, yeah, you're dispelling salts. How's your salt recovery? I'm like, I don't know. I drink water. He's like, well, yeah, the water's diluting your electrolytes and salts, and you got to replenish. I'm like, oh, holy cow. So
You're like, whoa, I gotta take in salt and electrolytes.
Yeah,
That's the
seriously.
first time you've heard that, huh? You motherfucker, dude, you've been going to hot yoga and stuff. You're
I
just
know.
like probably drinking like 8 ounces of water a day.
Yeah.
Being like, I'll be good.
well, I actually drink. Well, it makes sense because I drink a crap ton of water, like so
yeah?
much. Like especially at work, I'll drink like a half gallon a day. I feel like this big jug. But now I get it. It's like, well, that's been diluting my salts, and I don't like replenish that or electrolytes either. You know, when we sweat.
Yeah, but it's always a fine line with me. I always think, especially because fighting, I think high blood pressure
Oh yeah,
can occur from having too much salt.
true.
So then it's like, if you're gonna ingest more salt, you better be sweating.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
because I drink one of these electrolyte things usually every night. I usually always have electrolyte storage, and every night I'll just like pop an electrolyte drink.
That's fair.
Because I know the next time I'll work out really hard, and I sweat really easy.
Oh,
I'm already
yeah.
sweating right now. Feels hot as hell in here. Does it feel hot to you?
It's a little humid.
I'm gonna boost the AC to medium.
Okay.
Do a monologue.
Yeah. So we'd like to thank the sponsor of the.
Sebum, thank you. Okay. Don't worry, I got a list here.
Nice.
Sorry, Matt, for that downtime. I know Matt, my buddy, who's a cop. Isn't it so funny? I was thinking about this the other day. I realized when Matt, I know you're probably listening. Whenever I bring up my friends who are cops, I go, "Oh, my friend Matt, who's a cop." And I'm like, this must be like that level of like throwing in that name kind of thing.
Yep.
It's like low level government, but it's like, if you knew a senator or governor, like,
yeah.
oh, my friend, Brett, he's the governor.
That's true, huh?
It's like you're just throwing that little bit of power flex in there. Like, yeah, he's a cop.
I always do that at work just to mess with people because my dad is like my boss's boss. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm Shane's son, district manager.
You throwing that little power flex.
Yeah.
Dude, have you ever done Wim Hof breathing?
I don't think so.
Dude, we're going to have to do that together.
Okay.
So I was thinking, man, we should do some Wim Hof breathing on the podcast, but I will save you all from having to hear us go for like fucking 2 minutes straight. You've been going to hot yoga. They switched up that app. Pissed me off.
Oh yeah, it's not what
Mind Body.
Mind Body. What is it? Yeah, I heard that they were switching it.
I don't know. They switched the app and then I never downloaded it and haven't gone back since.
Same.
So, all right, dude. We're going into pressing matters next.
Okay.
Did you see the alien bodies presented to the Mexican Congress?
Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of stuff about that actually.
Yeah, what'd you see?
So I saw the reveal and I saw them talking about it, but I'm on like Twitter a lot, and so I see like everyone's different opinions. What are your thoughts?
So I don't for these things I try not to have like opinions on it, but I know every article when you look it up, I just like to be able to read off what the facts are about the situation. Every time I look it up, the headlines always try to like throw it off like debunked, and then I'll be like, oh really, it got debunked? I'll click on it, start reading through. It never even mentions where it was debunked. One of the articles I saw that was a headline was like the guy who was presenting it was known to be like full of shit in the past.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I heard
in
about
2015, he uncovered a body in Peru, this tiny body with a big head, and he presented it, with the theory that it could be an extraterrestrial, is what he was saying, a non-human entity. Turns out they got DNA tested. It was a young girl, a child with a head deformity.
Oh.
And so he got that wrong.
Interesting.
And everyone's trying to harp on that in the articles. The thing that I find so compelling about this, these new bodies that are presented to Congress, these were found a few years ago, and they're finally making it to Congress, is they sent these little things to these two little bodies. They look like clay almost because they're petrified. They're fossils. They send them off to the National Autonomous University of Mexico, which is the largest university in Latin America. And they send it to the University of Canada to get tested for a multitude of tests, one of them being carbon dating. And the things were carbon dated to be 1,000 years old.
Oh, wow.
So he didn't make it in the fucking garage. That's already out the window.
Yeah.
And then they did DNA sampling on it. And they had a lot of similar DNA to us, but 30% of their DNA, according to the University of Mexico, is of unknown origin. They don't know where that DNA is from.
Interesting.
It's a big gap, and that's what led them to believing they're non-Earth entities because they didn't grow up in our evolution because there's a 30% DNA gap that is not in anything else on this planet. And they're like, where the hell is that from? So with those things in mind, it's like pretty fascinating. They also x-rayed the bodies and found eggs.
Oh yeah, in the stomachs,
ovaries,
right?
yeah.
Like 3
In
of them.
one
or
of them.
whatever?
In one of them, they had eggs in them. So it's like that's pretty crazy, like wild stuff, especially when it's followed by the whistleblowers at our own U.S. Congress, like freaking the retired major former intelligence officer of the U.S. Air Force, David Grush, who said the U.S. government has been aware of non-human activity since the 1930s, and that we have a UAP crash retrieval program, aka UFO crash retrieval program, which ties hand in hand with the Virginia, Brazil incident. Have you heard of the Virginia, Brazil? Moment of Contact. It's a documentary. You can find it on YouTube. I'm pretty sure you can find a free version on YouTube, and it covers the whole Virginia, Brazil. It's like the Roswell of Latin America. This place in Virginia, Brazil, there was a UFO crash. There's many witnesses that saw it. The military came, the Brazilian military came to a small town out in the mountains, locked everything down. All the people in the town have I mean, it's within our, like, you know, within just the last couple of decades that this happened in the 90s. And they locked the whole town down, military guys everywhere securing the town because the UFO crashed in the hills. That guy saw and ran and saw it, saw these little bodies dead and stuff.
Was this recently?
It was in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
But the documentary came out recently. And these 2 or 3 sisters were walking around in the streets and they saw these little alien. This was one alien, weird little body creature thing. Look at them. They made eye contact, had some telepathic communication, supposedly, according to them. And they did a lot of testifying on it. And in the documentary, they bring these girls back, 20 years later, 30 years later, and they're still standing by it. They received a lot of scrutiny, didn't receive any money, nothing positive from it.
Wow.
Because, if you talk about UFOs, you talk about aliens, people just gonna think you're a nut job.
That's true.
Like, so what benefit do you get? Oh, I just want everyone to know that I'm a nut job. Is that the benefit you're looking for? Then okay, you got it. So they saw it, they screamed, they ran to their mom. They were like, Mom, there's a demon over there. They thought it was a demon. And they brought their mom back to the spot. It was like in an alleyway with grass. And they didn't see anything, but the mom saw there's a print with 3 fingers like this that looks a lot like the damn aliens' hands that are being presented to Mexican Congress.
Dang.
And one of the soldiers, this is documented, one of the soldiers of the Brazilian military saw this little creature running across the street, got out of the car, ran and grabbed it with his hands and took it in the car, and they rushed it to a hospital. That soldier who grabbed it died of a bacterial infection that none of the doctors knew what it was about. And his sister is on the documentary talking about it, crying and stuff.
Interesting.
He died within a week. He got really sick after touching that creature. They have it documented in all the hospital records that this creature being checked in. It's like literally, and then at the end of it all, U.S. Air Force, they have military records of a U.S. Air Force airplane landing, seizing all the evidence of the situation and taking it back to the U.S. because they said Brazil wasn't fit to handle this kind of situation. And that goes hand in hand with this retired major's story about a UFO crash retrieval program. It's just like all these things are just like perfectly lining up.
Yeah.
But you know what it really boils down to? I think nobody, no one gives a fuck. That's really what it boils down to. Like, what is that? Is that going to change my life? Is anything changing? I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
What is anybody going to care to pay attention for? So,
Well, and it reminds me of so there was this one with the Mexican alien recently, but then it was like a month, maybe 2 ago, where that guy, the ex-military guy, came and went to Congress and told them all about like, hey, just so you guys know, aliens are like we have, and he like testified under oath at Congress that like, just so you guys know, this is real, and like I might get in trouble for saying this, but like I just want to and yeah, so it's just interesting that it's like that happened and then this kind of happened, But like you said though, it seems like not really any people cared. Like I said, like I'm on Twitter a lot, and a lot of people are like, why does no one care about this? And it's like, well, what am I gonna do about it?
Yeah. Well, I think one thing that's pretty crazy is for me, it changes the way I look at the stars.
For sure.
And look at my purpose and our place I mean, we're sitting here fighting. Azerbaijan and Armenia are killing each other right now over land disputes, just like Palestine and Israel, because we're all fighting each other over, my people have, we have claim to this land from 600 years ago. Well, we have it from 1,000 years ago. Oh, I'm going to fucking drop a bomb on your family and we're going to genocide your people. And we're sitting here fighting each other But I feel like, if we can know that there's one key thing that can come out of that is we can band together and be like, guys, we are the same species and there's other fucking species out there. I know. And they're probably better than us. Yeah. And they're probably using us or some shit. Like we should get our shit together and work together. Another thing that to add on to that, because everything seems still pretty, he said, she said, who really knows, other than the testing from the Autonomous University of Mexico, which a lot of mainstream media outlets are calling for third-party testing. They don't want to believe those universities' tests. They want third-party testing. I hate that because this is what's going to happen. The government's going to go, let us get it. Let our scientists take a look. Oh, it's wrong. Yeah. Carry on, ladies and gents. There's nothing to see here.
Which I get to a point where maybe they want to do that because they don't want to they don't want everyone to panic. But at the same time, though, it's like that, that's probably good to know,
Maybe. The more it's like once is they're going back.
That is fair. And that's probably why they always cover it up.
Yeah. And the reason they probably cover it up is probably because it's very, very unpleasant news. It's probably really shitty. Yeah. It's probably going to make you pretty damn sad knowing the truth.
For sure.
So the further I go, but another thing I wanted to know, June of last year, NASA deployed a UAP task force with the goal to shift conversation of UAPs from sensationalism to science. That is by NASA. Hence why I'm rocking the NASA shirt today. I wanted to bring up these topics. Pretty wild shit. Yeah. Do you believe there's things out there? Well, how do you feel about all these alien things?
I don't know. It just it's really hard to start talking about this without going into okay, well, then what are your thoughts on religion? Okay, so is there other stuff out there? Okay, well, because we grew up like Mormon and what we were taught in Mormonism is that it's and okay, I wasn't number one student. I didn't study the gospel so much that there is that there, well, and who knows what is out there, So I don't know. It's just kind of hard.
Well, I mean, if you go into the Old Testament, there's the Watchers, which are divine beings that were watching over us. And they were flying around on these little glowing balls. They came down here and fucked our people and created giants and fucked up the whole thing. And that's why God wiped the earth. That's the Old Testament right there. So if you're a Christian, if you're a Muslim, you believe in the Old Testament. And that's the Book of Enoch. Yeah. The Book of Enoch was removed by the Roman emperor after there's a bunch of books that were like, this doesn't quite fit the bill, and they chucked it. The Book of Enoch is one of those. Enoch is mentioned in Genesis as one of the one righteous men who was able to walk among God. So, I mean, if you look at it, even Christopher Columbus on his journals, they write about these orbs flying around them in the sea, that these lights that were following them. The story of Jesus being born is a new star appeared in the sky. These fucking lights we've been seeing that look like goddamn stars. And I'm like, this new star appeared in the sky glowing, and it led them. They followed it and it stopped. It says it stopped in Bethlehem above Jesus. Yeah. Above Jesus.
True.
Oh, so it stopped? So you telling me this shit was moving? So you're telling me there's a big bright light in the sky. You start following, it started moving, and then it stopped?
Right.
That sounds like a fucking UAP to me, dude. There's records of UAPs throughout all of ancient history. So
for sure.
If you start, I think religion ties hand in hand with it. When I read a lot. I read the Quran this year, the Bhagavad Gita. I've read a lot, the Torah, the Old Testament. I went through the New Testament a bit. I also went through which I love. It's really great messages in it. I also read the Sacred Mushroom and the Cross, and that really fucked with my head a lot. But
I feel like last little point, if you were going to move on, is the thing is that it's I feel like the universe is kind of like the beach, where it's we're just one of the grains of sand, and it's it's dumb to think that there's just nothing out there anywhere. We're only one galaxy with planets, and there's a million galaxies with different planets. So I don't know. To me, it's not that crazy.
Have you heard of the Arecibo message? The Arecibo message. Let me pull it up in my notes. I really went down the rabbit hole in this. Arecibo message is an interstellar radio message carrying basic information about humanity and Earth that was sent to the global cluster Messier 13 in 1974. The content of the have you heard of the Drake equation?
I don't think so.
Well, it was created by Frank Drake, and it's a very famous equation that pretty much it goes at life in the universe. But The content of the Arecibo message was designed by Frank Drake, then at Cornell University and creator of the Drake equation, who wrote the message with the help from Carl Sagan and others. This is what it looks like. This is what the Arecibo message looks like. It's it's in binary code. So they sent it out there in the dots and dashes like this, or dots and dashes, binary, not fucking Morse. And this is like showing all what each little thing means, our DNA, what we look like, the satellite that was used to send the message.
Weird. Okay.
The message consisted of 7 parts that encode the following from top to bottom on that thing. At the top are the numbers 1 through 10. So then they could get a gist of how to start decoding the thing. The atomic numbers of the elements, hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and phosphorus. The formulas for the chemical compounds that make up nucleotides of DNA. The estimated number of DNA in the human genome, and a graphic of the double helix structure of DNA. The dimension, physical height, 5'9" of an average man, a graphic figure of a human being, and the human population of Earth, which was 4 billion at the time. A graphic of the solar system, indicating which of the planets the message is coming from. The sun is on the left, so you can see right here. Here's the solar system, 1, 2, 3. The third one, the shifts up, which is Earth, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and they shift that up so that they can see that that's what planet we're from. And then at the bottom, the Arecibo radio telescope, which was used to send the message out into space, which I already think is fucking stupid. I mean, Hawking's, Einstein, all these geniuses were saying, we probably shouldn't. Have you heard of the dark forest problem? It's like we're alone in a dark forest just trying to survive, and you see a light out there, and do you go out and go, hey?
Yeah.
And you end up with a bunch of fucking arrows stabbed into you in another tribe that you didn't, uncontacted tribe you run into, and it creates conflict? Or do you sit there and watch? We're approaching the dark forest problem because the whole universe is dark forest.
Yeah.
It's quiet. We don't know what's out there. And so our dumbasses are lighting a big bonfire and saying, hey, everybody, we're over here.
Right.
The fucking idiots, dude. Because what if something sees that we're going to regret? So the fascinating thing about the Arecibo message is that we received an Arecibo answer in 2001. The Hampshire pattern, also known as the Chabolton Code Formation, or Arecibo answer, was a crop circle that appears in 2001 near the Chabolton Radio Telescope in Hampshire, UK. And it was exact replica of the Arecibo message, but in a different form. Look it up, Arecibo answer, people. On this is what it looks like. You see that shit? See the little alien body on there? And it has all the same information, different solar system, different stuff like that. Let me read to you some of this shit. Yeah. So it's a near replica of the same Arecibo message that we sent out. And we got these fucking crazy ass crop circles coming back. That happened, hold on, let me read more. So we get a message from them that appeared above it, and this is what it says. I don't know, maybe the way they validate crop circles is determining, because people were faking it a lot, and they would use these sticks and they step on crops and try to like make little designs. But the way they know those are fake is because there's breaks. The wheat and shit breaks because the stick, you're trampling it down. This Arecibo answer, the wheat folded on each other, so it's like folded and pushed down, and they're like bent. It's not broken; they're like bent over. And the only way they can be bent like that is through extreme radiation, which causes like bubbles in the plant, like the water in it when they're exposed to radiation like that can create it to bend and shit. So
interesting.
There's a way that they can prove that wasn't made by a human.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to look into it yourself, because I'm sure me talking right now about it sounds fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But the message that they left beside their Arecibo answer says, beware the bearers of false gifts and their broken promises. Much pain, but still time. Believe. There is good out there. We oppose deception. Conduit closing.
Interesting.
That's the fucking supposed, wisdom from the aliens is, whatever that means. Bearers of false gifts and their broken promises. Wonder what that is.
Yeah.
What do you think a false gift is? Are they talking about the COVID vaccine? Okay, yeah, enough about aliens. I know most of y'all don't give a fuck and think we're crazy. You're going to learn one day. All right. Because I told you about the UFO me and Isaiah saw.
I think you did.
And we chased that shit. Literally, this street right here, we chased it. And it fucking was watching us. It like orbited around us. I felt like we were like kayaking with fucking killer whales, dude. It was scary. Isaiah was being a little bitch, all scared. I was like, get your head out the damn window and keep your eyes on it. I was flooring it, dude. I was flooring it, chasing that fucker.
Dang.
But yeah, we went to the park right afterwards and started playing with Bosco. And it was a legit disc, dude. A legit disc in the sky over there. And first Isaiah saw a light out in the distance towards the airport. And I was like, what's that? And it was a big bright light, like a star in the sky. Flying around. And I was like, oh, that's the airport over there. It's probably an airplane.
Yeah.
And it turned off.
Oh.
And then it turned back on. And it kept moving. And it was brighter than an airplane. It was like a big bright ball out there. Probably like 20 miles away, I would assume. And I was like, wait, what the fuck? What is that? And once we both started paying attention, it disappeared and a fucking big disc appeared right in front of us, like 200 meters in front of us, maybe 30, 40 degrees in the sky.
Interesting.
And it was a big, looked like this, like a fucking big cigar shape.
Really?
And I just started flooring. I was like, what the fuck is that? And I just floored it. Isaiah didn't see it at first. And then he saw it because it was on my side. I was driving.
Yeah.
It was on my side over here. I started fucking driving after it, dude. I floored it down this road and that was before the houses over there were built. And I was flooring it out there. And it did a little arc, like half arc around us. It orbited us. And the stars, because it was right at the time where the stars were coming out, right after sunset. The stars around it were like warped. It was like a warp field around it. And it just went around to the right, orbited us, and then disappeared instantly.
Dang.
Yeah, we were tripping out about that.
Yeah.
It's hard to, once you have an experience like that, all this UAP shit feels different. I was like, how the fuck would a human know that we were looking? Because it felt like it knew we were looking at it, and then it instantly transmitted and it appeared right and like looked at us, came and observed us.
Yeah.
Did a little circle around us to look at like what the fuck we were doing or something, and then shot away.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah. You believe me?
That's crazy. Well, it's just like, like, the do you believe in ghosts thing, where it's like some people don't, but then some people though have had like very real experiences. So it's like,
yeah, the thing is, there was two of us, and we saw the same shit.
Yeah,
and
true.
I mean, we literally looked at it. But I know every time if I tell my friends this, they're usually like, "Oh, were you high? You probably didn't see shit." I was like, "Okay," but yeah, I don't care. I'm just gonna say it because the reason I bring it up and talk about this, I'm sure people are gonna fucking lose respect for me often. Because they think you're just a fucking kook. I didn't experience it, and you say you experienced it, so you must be fucking crazy.
Right.
And so I'm like, whatever, dude. It's the truth that happened.
Yeah.
One day my grandkids are probably going to look at this, and they're going to probably fucking know about aliens by then. And they're going to know that I wasn't afraid to tell the fucking truth at the time. I'm going to fucking say it. I don't give a fuck if you think I'm lying or if I'm crazy, because it happened. It's up to you to figure. You're going to have your own experience someday. Maybe you will.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I used to be skeptical too. But once you get your own fucking crazy experience, you're like, okay,
Yeah.
all right,
Definitely.
this shit might be like, this shit's like real. There's something going on out there.
Definitely.
I don't know what that was. I don't know if it's our technology, but if it can instant transmit and notice that people are seeing them from that far away and they can travel that fast, I'm excited that maybe we'll be able to like reach a time of interstellar travel
That'd be cool.
soon. Because if it's not aliens and we have that technology, I hope it goes into the private sector someday, and we're fucking flying out to fucking Tau Ceti, looking at new stars and shit. That'd be
cool.
so awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
This is a big thing trending on TikTok. Ravina asked me this, and I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon here.
Okay.
How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
I think I have heard about this. Like, never.
Never? Oh my gosh, damn. Woman. Only a true man thinks about the Roman Empire every day. No, yeah, I was like, I don't fucking know what the I don't think, because they were saying all guys think about Roman Empire every day.
Oh, okay.
I don't think about the Roman Empire every day.
No.
I had a brief phase where I was like obsessed with learning about the Celts versus the Romans from the Gaul Wars. That shit's crazy. You know about that? That shit was it's like the original. Well, the original. It was a big time. It's like empire versus tribes, old school days. Like, and the tribes of the Celts, all those fucking Nords and shit, outnumbered the Romans by a shit ton, and they were having these giant ass battles for like ways of life. You know, the Druids getting massacred and shit. I'm gonna send you a podcast.
Okay.
Dan Carlin's Hardcore History, the Celtic Holocaust. It's fucking awesome, dude.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, 300 BC. Man. Sorry, dude. I go on my little rant sometimes.
No, it's
about
good.
Fucking
This is interesting. Yeah,
shit.
it's good learning. I wasn't much into history.
What are you into?
Probably not anything that's cool.
What's not cool, dude? What if there's passion in it, it's cool.
Yeah,
This world's made up of a variety of people.
definitely.
Not everyone's a historian. Some people are into science. Some people are into fucking game development. Me and Irvina are reading this book called Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Have you heard of it? It's about these like game developers, and that shit's cool, dude. I'm really immersing. Oh, speaking of games, because that book talks about like developing games, and it's like the beginning of these game developers' career where they're just making puzzles.
Yeah.
Like little, they make mazes because they
Yeah.
think mazes are the most basic form of a video game. And
That's
I was
fair.
like, oh, wow, it's pretty fucking cool. Like thinking about it like that.
Yeah.
But what that made me realize is I've been on fucking Starfield,
Oh yeah.
Bethesda's new game, and I'm fucking addicted.
Are
dude.
you?
I'm addicted.
Okay.
Did you play Fallout?
So I wasn't a big Fallout guy. I did play a little bit of 4 and a little bit of 3, but I was a bigger Skyrim guy.
Yeah, okay. Skyrim is just a classic. It's like Skyrim is like the equivalent of being like, did you play Mario?
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm like, dude, like it's like the best. Like, who did it? But I mean, I guess it's for more nerdy people.
Yeah.
Like I guess dudes. I know a lot of chicks that play Skyrim though.
Yeah. For
Did,
sure.
did Jessica play Skyrim?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she beat the whole game.
Did she play Fallout?
I think a little bit, but not like crazy.
Dude, you gotta jump on this Starfield. You got Xbox, right?
I have a PC.
Oh, yeah, you guys
it's,
are all PC
and it's on
godries.
there. I asked a lot of people. I was like, should I do it? And they're like, do it. But that was around like race time, so I was like kind of distracted. But now I got free time.
Oh yeah, well, it's gonna take a lot of your time. I'm like at night, I'll like do all my shit throughout the day, in the evening, spending time with Irvina, and then we're getting ready for bed, and I'm like, I'm gonna go play Starfield real quick before I meet you in bed.
Yeah.
And I'll be on there sometimes till like midnight.
Yeah.
She'll be pissed.
Oh.
Like, what the hell? You coming to bed so late? I'm like, I'm just sorry. I gotta get my hours in.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I've just been like so tired. My bag's under my eyes. And
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
I gotta take this. Dude, I'm burning up. I gotta
Oh.
take this head off. How's my hair? Do I look pretty?
Always.
Yeah. So what games are you into right now?
Let's see. Yeah, well, I'm kind of like a little soy boy. I play a lot of Nintendo. Oh,
Nice.
but we played Zelda at the same time though.
Yeah. Wait, when did you beat it?
I beat it probably like maybe 2 weeks before you did, maybe 3.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm a little bummed. I mean, I could load my last save and go explore. It sucks that you don't get to just finish things and
know.
be with your character. But I guess that would make sense for like the turmoil of the land.
Yeah.
That makes sense with the plot. So we're talking about Tears of the Kingdom. God damn, dude, look how big I'm fucking losing my hair. I'm gonna turn 30 next month. My hair used to be so long and luscious like yours, you little young blood. But
Dude, that
my
sucks.
forehead was not this big
Yeah.
before.
I know it always sucks to look back at old pictures and it's like, dang.
Yeah, it's so funny. Even pictures where I look at like young Bosco.
Oh yeah.
And he's like so skinny and like his hair looks different and everything. I'm like, that's just life. That's how life is, dude. Bosco got like a beard, like a white beard now. You notice?
Really?
Have you seen? Yeah, he's got like white hair all over his mouth and under his chin. He's just
Dang.
getting all old and
Old
wise.
man.
Yeah, me and Bosco are going into our elderly years
yeah.
with grace. We're gonna be those old wise dogs.
Yeah.
Giving those young bucks some advice.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends, do you have friends that are freaking out about going bald?
Not a lot of friends. Well, I think people don't talk about it though.
Oh.
Like I don't know. I feel like it's like a sensitive topic
Oh
sometimes.
my God.
I don't know. 'Cause
Dude, guys are such little girls when it comes to their hair,
100%,
dude.
yeah.
Your hair looks healthy and like long though. How old are you? You're 27?
Yeah, I turned 28 in 8 days.
Oh, you're checking your watch? 7 days and 13 hours.
Approximately. Yeah.
1 week, dude. Next week.
Yeah.
The
that's
29th, right?
28th.
28th.
Uh-huh.
Oh, hell
And
yeah.
it's I just learned this recently. It's my golden year, which is I'm turning 28 on the 28th. Which some people were like, when I figured that out, I started telling people, and they're like, "Well, that's dumb." So my golden birthday was when I was 1. Then
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fucking didn't hear about this golden year thing. What is
yeah,
that?
So it's like, so my birthday's September 28th, and I'm turning 28. So it's like you turn your age on like the date of your birth.
Yeah, I get that part, but what the fuck does it mean to be gold?
I don't know.
I was just like, that's it? That's the end of it? There's nothing like
I don't
bonus
know.
that you get?
That's true. I'll have to look into it more. Yeah,
Like,
because
someone just decided to call it that?
I did tell Jessica, I was like, so this birthday's got to be crazy because it's my golden,
It's the golden
my golden year
party. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, we're gonna have to go big then.
Yeah.
We're gonna party it up.
Hell yeah.
All right, we're gonna have a bottle for each of us.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we bust out the hot tub again.
Shit. Oh, that's so nice. I've actually been so excited for that.
Yeah, the cold weather coming in. You're like, oh, time to hot tub. Have you ice bath? Ice bathed?
We did.
Is that what you call it? Ice bathed?
Ice bath?
To bath? Have you bathed? Have you
Yeah.
ice bathed?
Are you going to ice bath?
Or have you done an ice bath in the past?
Yeah. Okay. There you go. We did it for hot yoga, but that was kind of
yeah,
that was like a cool dip.
Yeah,
though.
it's like a cold water. It's like the equivalent of a cold shower, I feel like. Because
That's fair.
that water is outside in the hot sun in the middle of summer.
That's fair.
There's no ice floating around in it.
I have tried it, but it's like that definitely is like a mental fortitude thing, because that's like you dip your toes in. I don't want to.
I'll be doing it in my bathtub pretty often.
Okay.
And dude, it makes cold showers. Cold showers used to be mental work for me. I'd be like, here we go. In the cold shower. Cold shower is pussy shit now.
Yeah.
Excuse me. What did you? We
hiccuped.
just both had a
jinx.
digestion moment. But dude, the cold shower feels so easy because
Yeah,
the ice
I'm
bath.
sure.
It's like Wim Hof like talks about. It's like a muscle. You work out. The more you do it, the stronger and better you get. And you can do lower temps of ice. But I started out with like 2 bags of ice, and I go to Walmart and get 4 bags now. Is usually what I do. 4 bags, dump it into my tub. That's like $7.
Yeah.
Over at the fucking Float North or whatever the hell it's
yeah.
called, it's like $35 an ice bath, I think.
Jeez.
I'm like, fuck that, dude. You go to Walmart, spend $10, you got 5 bags of ice. That's a shit
Yeah.
ton. Dump it into your bathtub
For sure.
and lay in that shit.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be getting all the effects of an ice
Yeah.
bath. I guarantee it.
So what are the effects then? Just like
Dopamine boost. I definitely feel that. I feel like after I get it, I come out, my whole my torso and stuff and my legs are super cold. And I'm a big guy, so in my bathtub I don't fit completely. Sometimes I'll stick my feet in and cross them, so it's like only thing sticking out is my knees,
yeah.
but and my head.
Yeah.
But I don't like my feet. My feet getting in and stuff doesn't seem that important to me. I feel like the most important is again like my torso and like
Definitely.
my butt and thighs and up to my neck, and I can just fully submerge like that up those pieces. So I'll just like lay in there like that and let my whole torso get super cold. And then when I'm done, I'll usually do like 5 minutes or something, maybe 8 minutes sometimes if I'm feeling it. And I'll get out, dry off, and my whole body just feels cold for like an hour or something. I'm like cold, but it feels like awake.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's fair.
Because when you wake up in the morning, your body temperature rises throughout the day. And then when you go to bed at night as you're sleeping, your body temperature drops. And I think that's like kind of a correlation to that of when you wake up, when you do an ice bath and then your body's forcing itself to heat back up, it's like it gives you the effects of like waking up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like your body's trying to heat itself up and it's giving you that like alert, awake effect.
That's fair. Because it's like, when we do hot yoga, it's like it's super hot and you get all the cool effects of that. It's kind of like it feels like a cleanse. You sweat out like freaking all of your glands. And yeah, it's like, but then after you feel so serene, you feel like such like a weight lifted off. So I'm sure
you feel
it's
serene?
like,
I feel tired after hot yoga. I'm like, God damn, I want to go like
That true.
lay in
That's
some
true,
cold
though, yeah.
water and then lay down for a little bit. But I'm not as in shape as a lot of those people in there
true. Oh my gosh. Some of those people are crazy.
doing the advanced things. I'm doing basic poses and like moving my leg to the left and right and stuff.
Yeah.
Not grabbing my foot. I just like grab my knee and like move it. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. Like, yeah, grab the toe, bring it out to the side.
Yes.
This hand this way. Yeah.
Yeah, sticking your feet out like that. Hey, what was how'd you beat Ganondorf? What was your main approach?
I've seen a lot of people where they did like a lot of cheese stuff. I'm like, one-on-one combat.
Are you as like a sword fighter kind of
yeah.
guy? Oh, really? You're not
so
you're
it
not
was
a
like-
bow and arrow guy?
No, it was at some point he just starts. You see how badass he is. You shoot it. He just smacks it out of the way. But I was like master sword, Hylian shield.
Master sword. Oh, you used your master sword against him?
Yeah.
Holy damn, you're a true Link.
It ran out of energy pretty fast though, so then I had to use my other one.
I shot one of those ancestral those like little tips, that are like supposed to make fuckers disappear. What's that called?
The ancient blade.
Ancient blade. I put one of those on there. I never used them. I never wanted to use them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
You lose the loot. What's the point? I was like, who's gonna be a bitch enough to be like, I can't beat this guy.
know.
Make him
Go
disappear.
away, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There goes that Lionel.
And then you don't even get the loot for it either.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the whole point of fighting a Lionel is to get the shit that you get when he dies.
Yeah.
Like those bow and arrows. Five shooting bow and arrows. Yeah, I missed that game.
Yeah, me too.
When it ended, I was a little bit sad. I was like,
I know. Well, and I think you touched on this earlier. It's like once you beat the game, you just go back to right before you beat the boss, which that's like a lot of older games. But I was sad. Like, man, there's like no post game. Now you just got to go and just like,
your drive diminishes like crazy.
Exactly.
You're like, next game, Starfield.
Yes.
That's why I beat Zelda so fast, because Starfield, I was like, I need to play fucking Starfield. I better get on the main quest of this thing, because I was taking my sweet time on Tears of the Kingdom. But yeah. All right, let me bring up a couple more topics I have here planned. Did you see the video of that man in South Carolina who lived close to where that F-35 airplane crashed? That is going to be a huge meme here soon. He's like, and it sounded like some mixed, like a screech or a screech or a squeal, like.
Really?
You haven't seen it?
I don't think so. How recent was this?
It's recent.
Okay.
This is going to be meme material, I'm pretty sure. All right, watch this with me.
Okay.
Sunday afternoon,
I was in the bathroom taking a shave, and I heard a screeching, between a screech and a whistle. I said, what in the world is this? And I heard a boom, and my whole house shook.
White says he didn't realize it was a plane at the time, so he didn't call anybody.
The first thought came to me, I said, well, what's a meteorite coming out of space or something? And I said, well, if it's an airplane, it needed to be reported. But the thing was flying just too low. So yesterday evening, I said, the helicopters out of the hotel walking. Choppers keep flying around. I said, well, somebody must have robbed a banker, killed some people or whatever. I walked up there. They told me it was about the plane.
The F-35B airplane wreckage created an extensive debris field.
This doesn't seem
The wreckage is located off of Old
It feels like one of those skits.
Yeah, seriously. So just
Thanks for the onomatopoeia, bro.
right. So that chopper just crashed.
F-35 jet crashed a mile away from that guy's house out in the middle of nowhere, South Carolina. A couple of other topics I wanted to bring up. Did you see that a CIA whistleblower has just testified to members of Congress that the CIA offered significant monetary incentives to agents tasked with investigating the origins of COVID-19?
Really?
According to the whistleblower, the agency would provide bonuses to agents if they changed their position from it likely originating from a lab leak to unable to determine the origins.
Interesting. I haven't heard about that yet.
And I'm guessing that probably comes down to let's not cause more tensions with China. And speaking of China, in local news today, China seems like they're going to take over the fuck out of Taiwan, which felt inevitable after we pulled out of Afghanistan, because Afghanistan seemed like something like, look what we do to our allies. We don't have their back when it comes down to it. And Taiwan is one of our buddies that China wants back. And
really?
China has just moved about 40 warplanes crossed the symbolic line between China and the island, including at least 30 fighter jets. And China refused to talk about what they're planning on doing, and they're just moving a shit ton of military over to the island of Taiwan.
Interesting. I didn't hear about that
Yeah,
either.
we'll see. I mean, what do you think the U.S. will do if they start fucking saying, you know what, we're going to take over Taiwan and it's ours again? Just like they did Hong Kong. When was the last time I fucking hear about Hong Kong? They absorbed that shit, and Hong Kong's communist again.
Yeah, I'm not like super political, but you know, it's like with what's going on with Ukraine, it always seems like, which is good. It always seems like we're hesitant to help and go to war with other people because we want to keep the peace. So I don't know. That's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, is it good? That's the real big question. I feel like the more I learn, it feels to me like there could be alternatives to finding an answer aside from sending, a bunch of boys and men to go out and die and leave their families behind, getting shot. Have you seen any of the footage? There's literally, you can just Google raw, uncensored war footage from Ukraine.
Really?
I feel like everybody needs to do this because everyone wants to jump on the bandwagon like, hey, we got your back. Keep doing it, Ukraine. Keep going. Go spend an hour of your life on a fucking some sort of crazy real war footage website and watch these fuckers getting mowed down, people getting scared, crying, and just. That's it. I'm gonna pull one. I got one saved on my phone. I'm gonna show you one right here. I'm gonna fucking tarnish you a little bit right today.
Oh well, Twitter. Like Twitter is like a pretty uncensored place too. You know, so when that was like in the height, I saw a video of this. Yeah, this tank just going crazy.
Oh, running over that car.
Yeah, it feels bad.
It feels bad. At least you don't need to see people.
I do feel like though that.
Here's one clip.
I wish I knew what he was saying. Wait, why did you do that?
So this Russian soldier got behind this Ukrainian bunker line, ran over to those guys, yelled at them, put your hands up, we'll drop it. And the older Ukrainian guy saying, "Oh, we're ours, like we're one of our, like we're your." They thought they were on the same team. He's trying to say, "We're ours, like we're on the same team." And then the guy just obviously hammered him and shot him all and left. There's way worse videos than that. And like grenades getting thrown into bunkers, drones. Oh my God, there's this one video. I saw this fucking guy from a drone video. They drop it on this dude. And he's like in a trench and they drop a missile, like or one of those little grenades, blows up and his legs are all fucked up. He tries to stand up and his leg folds. And he lays there and he's all like fucked up for a little bit and the drone's watching him. He grabs his rifle, puts it in his mouth, kills himself right there on the line. I'm just like, once you see a lot of those, dude, I'm like, what the fuck are we doing, dude? Because the whole reason, I mean, you can go, everything goes back down to land disputes. All these fucking wars, dude, come back to, it's our land originally, but we want to be different. The whole point, I feel like Russia was like, do not make Ukraine part of NATO. That's the big, red line we're drawing. Don't fuck around with Ukraine because it's right on our border. And obviously, ever since the Cold War, there's been these tensions between capitalism and communism, Russia, Soviet Union, America. We got those proxy wars with Vietnam, the Viet Cong. I mean, look at South and North Korea. That's literally a proxy war right there. And Ukraine is taking it to the next step where it's not a proxy war between North Korea that is represented by Russia and South Korea represented by the U.S. Now it's us representing Ukraine. We got their back. Literally fighting Russia. But I know Russia invaded Ukraine, but they did draw a line saying as like a leader, and you know how stoic Russia is and Putin, he's a fucking crazy nut already. He said, do not take Ukraine. Ukraine does not go into NATO. 10 years ago, 5 years ago, all the news outlets were saying Ukraine's the most corrupt country. All the politicians are corrupt, all these things. And then we go to make them part of NATO, which Putin was saying, don't do that. That's literally the last straw. You guys, I do not want NATO on my border. We say, cry us a river. Ukraine's going to be NATO. Russia says, I told you not to do that. Starts invading. And we try to set, now we're painting the picture of obviously that's wrong. You shouldn't be invading. These people are fighting for their homes too. But it seems complicated. I feel like our leaders could be like, hey, Russia, Putin, sorry that we did that. How about we find an agreement so people don't have to die anymore? We will leave Ukraine alone and you leave Ukraine alone and we'll both back out. But we're the ones to take the first step. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's like, if I put it into like a human to human kind of concept, if you were like at a bar and there's this fucking scary guy, like super scary who wants to fight and he's just like this stoic like Russian dude. It's just not a normal guy. That's the Russia. They're fucking a bit crazy, Putin especially. And they were like, don't fucking take one more step to me or I'm going to fucking beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
And then you go behind your friend, you push him. You push him towards the guy and the dude just starts beating the shit and they start brawling. You go, bro, you got him. You got him. You can do it. Like, who are we in that situation?
That's fair.
What the fuck? We're the ones instigating war, and we're thankful for us. We don't got to deal with any bloodshed. That's not our people out there fucking getting, fucking bullets to the face, never seeing their family again. It's literally horrendous. War, at least right now in America's view, it's just like a sporting event. Yeah, go team.
Yeah.
But it's like, how about you? One thing I wish our leaders would do these days if we're gonna support a war, the people who are passing anything, passing the funding, passing the laws that are gonna let us support this war, those leaders should be forced, if not to go, because our leaders used to lead war. They used to be on a fucking horse right in the front saying,
True.
"Are you ready? Let's fucking go."
Yeah.
And we're like, "Yeah, let's go. Let's follow our leader." At minimum, make them send their own fucking family member. You know what I mean? Send your son. You're gonna pass a law, funding and a law that we're gonna be going to war. All right, your son's going.
That's true.
Let's see how fast you fucking sign a bill to go to war now. I bet you they don't feel the effects of war, so they don't give a fuck.
No.
It's just oil, resources, and politics. It's not like
Definitely.
they don't give a fuck, dude.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that subject's hairy.
Definitely. Well, like you said before, like when you were about to play that video, you're like, well, you know, fuck, I think everyone should see this. And it's like, it's so true. Like when we're going through like war and stuff, it's like hearts for Ukraine. And it's like, that's really great. Cool. But it's also just like, you don't really care. You're just kind of like, you want to look like you're supportive, but it's like no one knows what, like, I think, like you said, I think like everyone should have to watch that kind of stuff because it's like war isn't like a hashtag help for Ukraine. It's like look how scary this is, you know? Like I was telling everyone cause gas was going up a lot during like the height of that. Like, oh, this so sucks. Like war is stupid. I'm like, you're like your like priorities are so whack. Like I will take 10 gallons of gas instead of having a gun in my hand, having to be in that war. So
Yeah, it's like, dude, we're literally the capital from Hunger Games.
yeah,
Like life
that's
is
true.
so fucking good. We're over here doing our hair colors and like worried about
TikTok
our aesthetic,
dances.
TikTok dancing, and like oh my god, did you see gas went up? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the fucking districts are out there killing each other to supply us with the resources to maintain our high and mighty life. Where being poor means you don't have Wi-Fi and fucking hot water. Well, guess what?
Yeah.
Let's go look at the majority of the world. Motherfuckers don't got Wi-Fi and hot water. If you don't have Wi-Fi, you're super poor here in America.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? It's like, and we got a good standard of living here that is
Definitely.
upheld. I mean, literally, this fucking thing is made by slaves. So that's my woman calling me. Austin, it has been a pleasure. I don't know how long we've been talking, but I got to go to the fucking gym and try to lose this fat. So I'm going to cut it short. Thanks for talking with me, dude.
For sure.
We're going to do this again.
Definitely.
I hope so. Next time with drinks. It's too early in the day that we can't get all fucked up.
Yeah, definitely.
Next time we're going to talk about all this shit, this fucked up shit again, but we'll be hammered and stupid.
Definitely.
All right,
Love
ladies
it.
and gentlemen, Austin McEwan, thank you.
Goodbye.
Peace.
Well, so now I said konnichiwa, but now how do I say goodbye?
Oh, yeah. Let's say bye in Japanese. How do you say? Oh, that's easy. Sayonara.
Is it really?
Yeah, sayonara.
Oh, I didn't know that.
ありがとうございました。日本人です。さよなら。
はい。